All right, I want to talk a little bit about what documentation to have ready. If I'm getting ready to buy a house, I'm a first-time home buyer. From an income standpoint, can you take me through the different income types and just some of the basic documents to start preparing? And then any other documentation that maybe I need to have ready to go.
Yeah, so the biggest pool of people are, W-2 employees of a company that are either on an hourly wage or a salary. What they need is their last 2 years of W-2s and their most recent month of pay stubs. Now, if they have additional income outside of those boxes, for instance, commission or bonus, the best thing they could do is also include the last pay stub they received for the previous 2 years. And the reason why is because, let's say the last pay stub you received in 2025 and 2024, it's going to tell us how much bonus and commission income you made for that whole year. And then your most recent pay stub shows us how much you've made year to date. We can average those out. It makes it easy on us. That's the majority of people. That's all you're going to need for your income. If you're starting a new position or you're getting a raise or something like that, a letter from the employer would be fantastic that says, hey, here he's starting a new job. Here's what his pay is going to be. Or, hey, that getting a new position and you're getting a raise. So those are the main things that you need. If you're self-employed, most of the time what we're going to need is your personal tax returns and your business returns. Now, some self-employed people file on their personal returns. They don't have business returns, so we would just need those. So it just depends on how you set up your business. But if you're a person who you're self-employed and the taxes don't look good, we need 12 months of your business bank statements because then we can qualify you off the deposits rather than the tax return.
That's good. As far as insurance goes, if obviously I need homeowners insurance, is there any kind of documentation that I have to have put together up front, or how does that work?
You don't really need it up front. We can just use a rough estimate to start because until you find the actual house that you want, every house is going to have a different insurance rate because they all have different histories. They're built differently. So the main thing that we want for insurance is that it covers full replacement costs. So if something happened to your house, like a fire or a tornado or something, the whole house could be rebuilt the same way it is today. You got to have that much coverage. So you could, before you buy a house, before you make an offer, you could go out and get an estimate from a couple insurance brokers just to see what it would be.
Gotcha. Okay. We've covered this in prior segments, but if you're going to be getting a gift, just preparing whoever the giver is that they're going to have to fill out a gift letter and just making sure that they have their proper documentation. What about if I'm a veteran? What's a DD 214 and why do I need that?
Yeah, veterans discharge paperwork is a DD 214. That's the information that we need to be able to get a certificate of eligibility for you. So you can't get a VA loan unless your certificate of eligibility populates and it says that you're eligible. So sometimes, I'd say a lot of times, I can get your certificate of eligibility from the VA portal just from your social security number and the year you were born. So a lot of times they don't need to give me their DD 214, but what happens is if I go on that portal and it says, hey, we need more information, then I'm going to need that form and upload that and get it for you.
That makes sense. What about if I'm a newly divorced person? What do you need for that?
Yeah, that's important. We always need a divorce decree. And it's not because we're nosy. It's because divorce decrees could state that you have to pay alimony. So we have to include that in your debt ratio. You could pay child support. We have to include that in your debt ratio. Or you could owe a lump sum of money to the person and we have to prove that you actually paid that money. Because otherwise what's going to happen is if you don't pay something that you are supposed to pay in your divorce, they could put a lien on your property. So that's why the lender cares about it.
Yeah, I always cover these uncommon scenarios because people often wonder, why do you need my divorce decree? It's already final, especially if I'm a first-time home buyer. It is literally just for the alimony and child support documentation because if that's in there, that has to go on your debts. We have to take that into consideration as a monthly obligation. So that makes a lot of sense. Last but not least, if I'm retired, what do I need to provide if I'm retired, and especially if I'm getting income from Social Security or pension?
Yeah. So Social Security, the easiest thing to do is the Social Security award letter. They pretty much send you one every year, typically in November, I believe is when they send it out. So you get that award letter. You can also get it on their website, Social Security website, if you don't have a hard copy. But it basically just says, here's how much you're going to get. Then if we get your bank statements, it's going to show that money getting deposited into your account. So now we can verify, okay, this is legit. It works. Same thing with a pension. You pretty much have a pension award letter from from wherever you're getting the pension from. And then we can see it getting direct deposited on the bank statement. Those are the two. You usually need to verify it two ways. You need the letter plus you need the bank statement showing it going in.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Bankruptcies. Is there anything that I need to provide if I had a bankruptcy?
If the bankruptcy was within the last 4 years, yes, we need the actual discharge paperwork. And usually it's either a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. Chapter 7 means they wiped your debt clean. You have to have longer wait periods for that, so we actually have to see when it was discharged. Chapter 13 is like you made payments on it and settled, somewhat. That one you usually only have to wait, a year or two. Sometimes you can get FHA loans done under a year with those ones. If you're a person